Hello, my name is Noam Bach, and today I'm going to be showing a mapping robot. So what I have on the right is the occupancy grid output, and there's my robot. So the basic strategy I found is that the robot tries to go find a wall, and once it's along it collects data about that wall, and the confidence it has that what's seen there is a wall, and then it kind of puts a point down if that wall seems to be a wall and otherwise doesn't. So what we're seeing right there is just going back and forth in corners because it's bad at mapping corners, and then kind of deciding. So the basic premise here is that every time we think we hit a wall, it updates the occupancy grid value by 0.05, and it increments it. And every time it gets a miss on a certain location, it decrements the grid value by 0.95. So basically and then you print out a point when the occupancy grid value is 1, and that happens just a different thread, so it's just constantly updating. Every 3 seconds actually it updates. So what that means is that for every 20 hits that are valid without a single hit that is a miss. For every 20 hits on a single point, without a single miss on that point, then we print the output. So what you're seeing here is kind of the front wall, and over here, which is kind of like this-ish, and then a little bit of noise off to the side that we obviously don't agree with. And then you can see we're just wall following slowly. I think this is probably one room with the exit here, so we're now entering our second room, which I think is kind of like this one with the wall in between it, then this, or maybe like a third and fourth, fifth room kind of thing. Anyways, now we're getting some data with some noise about where the wall actually is over here. But again, this just represents we have 20 hits on a certain location for every 1 miss on that location. So we think there's a wall there. But the occupancy grid actually has very different values. So it might have like 10 in one location. That means like we're pretty much certain that there's a wall there. But that isn't really represented in these points because there's no darkness to them. It's just represented the same as something that has exactly a 1 value, even though the 10 means we're 10 times more confident. So yeah, now we're just traveling over to a wall. Doing some wall avoidance here. So like I said, I think what we're confident about is there's a wall up here, wall right over here, something over here, and now we're kind of getting hits around this. And I think we avoid this one, and we'll kind of hit this wall and try to get through the door. Yeah, and you can kind of see now, even with the top of this wall, which is up here, we're getting some hits, which is good, because that's kind of like where we are. And now we're turning. Turning to kind of, since we have ting treads, we can just kind of turn in place to make sure we get straight through the door. And so that's what you were seeing there. So I think that's 1, 2, maybe 3 rooms. I guess to be safe, we can try to get over, at least up here, and then over here. So yeah, now we're kind of slowly turning right, and just kind of looking for a wall to establish ourselves on. So even when we aren't hitting walls, we're getting updates about the space around us. So every time we're not hitting a wall, we're just saying, okay, all of the grid spaces that we think that we're touching, those we're gonna decrement the grid values. So like right around here basically is going to be hard to get a hit in. There's a hit right there though. Cool, so yeah, I guess we can call this the second room if we want to. But now we found a wall and obviously we're orienting against it. So I think maybe this is the first room, this is the second, this is the third, and maybe this is the fourth. And it's hard to tell what a room is, but I think this is a door, this is a door, maybe this is a door, this is probably like, this seems like one room, so I'll count it as such. But yeah, now we're starting to get data about this wall up here, which is good because we found one and we're kind of updating our understanding of the world. And we're getting kind of nice and clean data about this. So I guess whatever we consider this blob, this is definitely one room, this is definitely one room, and this is definitely one room. So at the very least, this is the third room we have to get into to fulfill the requirement. But I think more realistically, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you can see up here, we're getting data about there. So again, the things we touched were kind of like on this top wall, over here, in this space. We spent like a little bit of time here, which is some of this bad data. And then over here was kind of like when we were hitting this and then hitting this, and we just got kind of clumps of data. And so the reason you can see like there's good data here and bad data up there is because of just the misunderstanding of the robot of where it is. Sometimes it thinks it's like 2 points over, but obviously that matters a lot if we're getting far LiDAR hits, because like if you think you're up here, then like okay, you're getting hits up here, and if you think you're here, then okay, you're getting hits right there. But obviously those are very different. Part of the reason these get drawn so quickly is because we haven't actually visited anywhere over there. So as we visit over there and get misses, those will disappear quickly because it's probably like, you know, that's probably like 20 hits up there that were wrong. When realistically, it will just get wiped away the second we get up there. And these hits are pretty confident, so they probably won't get wiped away at all. Anyways, so the basic thing we got is over here, kind of like this data. Over here, we got some noise here. Over here, we got pretty good understanding, like there are walls in this area, which is true. Up here was this, because we missed this wall entirely, like we didn't go along it, I mean. And now we're kind of tracking towards this other wall in the fourth room we've been in. And we're going to start wall following here. So I guess we can watch that for a little. Although it'll be kind of the same, so it might be a little repetitive, honestly. So I might just cut it there. Yep, thanks for watching.